John Hughes. The name gets certain 80s movie fans in a special mode, in a special way. He means something to those people. Now personally for me, who grew up in the 80s and the 90s and saw a lot of the movies, you know, stuff like that, I never really quite liked John Hughes. I've seen a couple of his movies and I quite didn't really like them that much. I thought that they were okay, but I've yet to see a movie that I fully enjoyed with him. One of the movies he has made that has probably made the most cultural impact, apart maybe from The Breakfast Club, is probably Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which is the movie we're gonna tackle today. So let's tackle it, I suppose. Ferris Bueller is played by Matthew Broderick, one of my old hatreds. Ferris Bueller thinks that he should have a day off, just to have some leisure and to do whatever he wants to. And after faking a report card and faking an illness and stuff like that, he's off to do whatever he wants to with a chick and a very reluctant friend of his. And they also take the very reluctant friend's very strict father's very priceless Furore. I really hope nothing happens to that car. And they take off and they just have a day off in Chicago doing stuff. This movie has a very big problem. Like when I reviewed The Client in Foresta Umbra. You should check it out, it's awesome. I discovered very fast that I have a problem with this one. I don't like the protagonist, and I do like our antagonist, the principal, played by Jeffrey Jones, one of my low-key favorite actors of all time. He is on the hunt for Ferris Bueller and is supposed to expose him for the asshole that he truly really is. I wish him all the luck he can get. And in the same way in The Client, where I sympathize more with the antagonist and the protagonist, then I'm getting it into a bit of a quandary because I want him to fail. Now, I really hate Matthew Broderick. I really hate him. Not because he's a bad actor, he's perfectly fine, but how incredibly lame he is. How incredibly uninteresting he is, and how incredibly he is able to make all movies he is in a little bit less interesting. And this has somehow driving me a little bit nuts, actually. Not only has Ferris Bueller has a terribly punchable face, I actually want to sodomize him with a fucking rusty fishing knife after seeing this, because God, I hate him. Now, as a comedy, it works okay. There are some jokes that works, and the post-credit sequence that was very nicely parodied in Deadpool was actually, you know, the only thing in this movie where he does something that is funny. Because when Jeffrey Jones does something funny, it's funny. Charlie Sheen's cameo, very good. He should have played some. Come to think of it, Charlie Sheen, would he have been able to play Ferris Bueller? Would have worked? Maybe, but I think not. I don't think I could have played Ferris Bueller, and I would have hated him anyway. So, as a comedy, it works not very good, but it's not awful. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It kind of just moves along, and there's stuff happening all the time, and I think that it's not a bad film. It is a pretty okay movie that has gotten a lot of praise that it doesn't deserve. I mean, there are certain parts of it that are good, and I can imagine, and I can understand why somebody would like this one, because frankly, this movie kind of reminds me about The Big Lebowski. The Big Lebowski is also about, you know, seizing the moment and, you know, living in the present and, you know, just being the dude. And people loves Big Lebowski. I do too. And I can understand why you want to attach yourself to a character like the dude. But Jeff Bridges played him so well and Matthew Broderick does not. I just want to punch Matthew Broderick out and murder him. It's not his fault, I think, but I'm not entirely sure. If you haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I can't really recommend it. It is a so-and-so movie that has the occasional great sequence, and John Hughes is a good director, but he doesn't make movies I like. So that's it basically. I will give Ferris Bueller's Day Off a slightly respectable 43 points. It is not a fantastic movie, it is an okay movie. I like parts of it, but the backwards thing doesn't work for me, and I'm really sorry, but it's gonna have to stand on its 43 points, I suppose. Yes, we're here in the Amalfi Coast now, and we'll see you next time from, well, so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.